School Freeware's Word 2007 Tutorials. Tutorial 12. Working with WordArt. The first thing to do is insert some WordArt. Click on Insert, WordArt. Select the WordArt you wish to use. I'll pick this one. Here we have the font. I'll keep it as Impact and I'll change the font size to 54. Next I'll put in my saying. And click on OK. And the WordArt is entered into Microsoft Word. Once you have the WordArt in, you could always go back and edit the text. Change the font, change the size, bold, italic, if you choose. Here we have the spacing, which we can make very tight. We can make it very loose. And I'll send it back to normal. Large or small fonts. And here you can change the WordArt styles how you choose. We have fill, which you can change the colors of the WordArt. Well, no fill doesn't seem to work too well. You can go with gradients. And even select your own gradients under more gradients. I go with some different colors here. And of course you can also change the shape of the WordArt. I'd like to point out one little hidden feature that WordArt has, and if you click on text wrapping and make sure that it's in line with text is the setting, you can go to Home and click on Highlight and highlight the background. This will not work if text wrapping is set to something else. As soon as I set text wrapping to a different setting, the highlighting disappears. I'll just undo this back to the highlighting. And one thing that is really cool is using pictures within WordArt. I'll go ahead and select a WordArt style that I want to use. I'll go back to this one. And under the fill, you can go to Picture. And then select the picture that you want and it'll be inserted into the WordArt background area here. Now I have a sunset. This happens to be off of Camelback Mountain in Phoenix. And London, England with a desert sunset doesn't go well together as far as the words are concerned. So I'll go back to Edit Text and I'll go change London, England to sunset. Click on OK. And I'll go ahead and modify the spacing a little bit to tight. That looks a whole lot better. And one thing, if you notice, the picture toolbar popped up. And here we have Format under Picture Tools. And I can change the brightness and contrast. I'll change the brightness to -20. And I'll change the contrast to +40. And here now we have the Picture Tools have modified the picture within the WordArt. I'll go make some more modifications to my WordArt. I'll click on Format, and here we have some shadow effects. Some of these settings you can't have together. For example, I have shadow effects, but if I were to go into 3D effects here and change the perspective, the shadow disappears, but I get a nice perspective of the sunset WordArt. One thing to note when you deal with the format tools of Picture Tools and the format of WordArt tools, they can, in some cases, cross each other out. So what you're modifying here in Picture, you automatically modified under the shadow effects. If I were to change the 3D effects here back to 3D Style 10, here under the shadow effects it changed back to no shadow. So you got to be a little bit careful going back and forth between the picture tools and the WordArt tools when you have them together, because one will modify the other. Last thing I wish to point out is under size we have the little format auto shape dialog box button here, and inside is where you'll find the settings in which you can tweak your WordArt just exactly how you wish.